Welcome to your most educative and enlightening program, Healthy Living, aka your personal preventive measures against COVID-19 and other diseases. On this program, we give you home tips and we bring experts that will educate and enlighten you on 1,000 ways to stay healthy so you can live longer. Thank you for joining us. On today's program, we are talking hand washing. We are talking facts you must know about hand washing. We are talking how important it is to wash your hands regularly. We are talking how important, expedient it is for you to keep your hands clean, because through your hands, diseases can be transmitted to every other part of your body. So it is important that we talk about it again. Remember the last time we talked about hand washing, how you should wash your hand and when you should wash your hands. Today we are giving you more facts about hand washing. At this time of COVID-19, because of the prevailing pandemic, the washing of hands has become so expedient, and that's why we deem it fit to talk about it much more. Thank you for staying with us. Facts you should know about hand washing. Last time we treated why you should wash your hands, how you should wash it, and when you should do that. Today, we bring you some interesting facts about it. The hand washing business is a serious one. For your health's sake, it has been discovered that 80% diseases are transmitted by touch. It is also discovered that only 5% of people wash their hands correctly. Do you know that damp hands spread over 1,000 times more bacteria than dried hands? 1 in 5 persons does not wash their hands after using the bathroom. Are you one of those? Only 1 in 20 people wash their hands with soap for even 15 seconds. Meanwhile, last time we said the ideal time to wash your hands 20 to 25 minutes, but not even a lot of people do it for 15 minutes, meaning they are not washing their hands properly. Women wash their hands more than men. They wash it more often. You agree with that? It is a known fact. It is accepted. A typical office worker comes in contact with 10 million bacteria every day. Average person's hands carried almost 3,000 different bacteria, while 26,000 live bacteria can be found on an average bank note. Our money, our nairas, our note normally. Do you know that the average keyboard can contain more bacteria than the toilet you use? How about our smartphones? It can carry more than 30,000 bacteria per unit swab. As you're giving to someone, taking from someone, swabbing per unit swab. We reiterate that it is very important that you wash your hands, wash it properly, and wash it when you should wash it.
Oh, you didn't know all this? Now you know. So we believe that with the information on your fingertips, you will make the best of it. Now let's have a chat with our experts.
Yeah, doctor, you're welcome to this program.
Thank you.
And today we'll be discussing kidney. Kidney, we heard, is a very vital organ in our body, but that's the much we know. Thank God you're here with us today. Please enlighten us more on our kidney.
Okay. So let me take off from where you just started. The very vital organ indeed. The only organ, because it doesn't have a substitute in the body. So majorly the kidney functions to excrete, remove waste, but there are other functions that are also part of its routine, where you have control of blood pressure, release of hormones, and others. But then, why is the kidney unique? We've mentioned one earlier. There's no substitute. And then why it's also unique is that every other organ in the body depends on the kidney for their normal function. So how do we prevent disease of the kidneys? Now we'll look at it from these areas. One, there are certain things you need to know your facts, and these facts would include the functions of the kidneys. One will be regulate fluid intake. Okay, regulate the amount of water that flows through the system. The other one will be the kidney produces hormone that regulates the blood pressure. Okay, it also produces hormone such as vitamin D that is needed by the body, and the kidney help most importantly in the excretion of waste. Okay, so if you know this fact, now we would want to discuss some of those problems that can affect the kidneys, things like heart disease, hypertension, diabetes, high blood pressure. What are some of those things that put the kidneys at risk? Now, the kidney also functions to produce blood. So your blood level, if it's adequate, is also a function of a functional kidney. Okay, now can you assess your risks? Now, by assessing your risks, we would want to say what are some of these risks. Any family history of diabetes, you see, that's why it's good we get a detailed family history. Any family history of hypertension, any family history of heart disease, any family history of kidney failure, and then lastly, any family history of obesity. Is there obesity in the family? Would also need to know. Additional risk factors will be age, as from 60, because we expect the function of the kidney to reduce as one gets older. Previous any history of low birth weight, history of chronic urinary tract infections, and the other thing you would want to know: have you ever been told before that you've been, or have you ever been diagnosed in the past with kidney stone? If there is also need for us to have this, okay, so we can assess your risks. Now, there are some symptoms we expect you to recognize, because this is also part of prevention. Recognizing some of those symptoms of a diseased or a malfunctioned kidney. Some of those things will be fatigue. All of a sudden, someone is just complaining of weakness and saying it's always weak and the rest. This might be an early sign, takeoff of a diseased kidney. The other one is difficulty or painful urination. So this might be an early sign of urinary tract infection, back flow, and they are affecting the kidney. Some people will tell you that their urine is foamy. Some will tell you that the color has changed. Some will tell you that the amount of the quantity of the urine has also reduced. Some will also tell you that they find this, they always strain, force the urine to come out. There's no pain this time, but they force the urine to come out. Some will just tell you that they can't even urinate. It's not even coming out at all. Okay. Some will tell you that I think I'm thirsty, but I'm not worried about the fact that I'm thirsty, but there's this increased thirst every time. Some will tell you that their face are swollen. Some will tell you that their legs are swollen. Some will tell you that all of a sudden they just notice that the whole body is swollen. No previous history, but all of a sudden it's there. And then for the fact that you are able to pick out some of these symptoms is a good sign for us. And then the other thing we would expect is that once you are aware of some of these symptoms, what do? You get tested. Okay, so that's why it's good once you notice these things, you go to see a professional who will now carry out some of these investigations that are necessary, required for you. Some of this might just be a simple urinalysis. We might be able to pick up some of these early signs of a malfunctioned kidney or malfunctioning kidney. Can also do a blood pressure check. So routinely we advise get your blood pressure checked because we've always been saying, hypertension is a silent killer. So individuals don't even know their blood pressure, and it's a concern to us. So get your blood pressure check, do a routine kidney function test. This can give you an immediate functional status of the kidney, which is very, very important. The other thing we can do after doing the kidney function test, we might want to know the glomerular filtration rate, a GFR. So what the GFR does is that it gives you this status of that kidney. At what is the GFR at the moment? So that GFR will tell us if the kidney is functioning well. If the kidney is diseased, we can grade the disease of the kidney. Now, if you have been tested, we advise you to do what? Stay healthy. So staying healthy means adequate water intake, reduce things that would put you at risk of coming down with diabetes, reduce things that would also put you at risk of coming down with hypertension. Don't smoke, avoid alcohol. And then the other thing we would want to say is that painkillers, Nigerians are always fond of abusing analgesic or painkillers. So avoid as much as possible painkillers, except prescribed by a physician. So the other thing we want to look is that your diet also affects your kidney. If your diet is balanced, it's good, fine, it will help. Adequate intake of fruits and vegetables is also key to a functional kidney. And then the other thing we would want to say also is exercise. Nigerians would have to improve on it, exercise. And then get to learn more about the kidney. People just feel, okay, fine, the kidney is responsible for this. It's not just getting to know the responsibility, the functions of the kidney, but then you need to know certain things about the kidney. What are some of those things that you do that will affect the kidney, and then some of those things that you do that will make the kidney function well for a longer period of time.
All right, doctor, these days you see a lot of kidney problems, kidney diseases, kidney failures here and there. We have high rates of death from it these days. I would like us to particularly discuss kidney stone. How do one get kidney stone?
Okay, for us, our environment puts us at risk first coming down with kidney stone, because we're in a subtropical part where the sun is always hot in its full strength, and there's a reduced water intake. Everyone is always busy doing this, and once anyone feels thirsty, they feel a soft drink that will address the increased thirst, pushing water to one side. So for us, kidney stone, what puts one at risk of coming down with kidney stone? Number one, reduce water intake. So you don't take the adequate amount of water, puts you at risk of coming down. So we're saying anything 3 liters per day, because you need to take enough. Okay. So we usually advise that you take more in the morning, also in the afternoon, but less at night, so you get good sleep. And then, because there's actually no need of you waking up frequently to go and urinate because you were advised by your physician to take plenty water, you decide to take it at night. Because the kidney is expected, most organs in the body are expected to function normally at night while you're sleeping and regenerate. So the kidney on its own would heal itself at night when one is sleeping. But then when you take too much water, you would take away that function of regeneration out, because the kidney will still be working while it's supposed to be resting, and then regeneration ongoing. So reduce water intake. Certain food that we eat put us at risk of coming down with kidney stone. Anything that is certain food that are rich in acid, okay, will put us at risk of coming down with kidney stone. Recurrent urinary tract infections that are not treated properly. You see, it will always advise that for any complaint, any abnormal thing you notice in your body, please go and see the physician. This is not the time for you to say, oh, let me go to the chemist and discuss with the chemist owner or so, the pharmacist also. Please go and get tested, because if the recurrent urinary tract infection serve as a nidus. And then age, because you are getting older, we expect some of these functions to decrease, and then we expect you, because these functions are decreasing, most especially male begin to retain urine, and because there's retention of urine, you are also at risk of coming down with kidney stone, because the retained urine serve as a nidus, okay, like a nidus for stones to be formed. And once there's a stone formation, you are also at risk of forming stone always. So you would also want to know, is there a family history of kidney stone? It's very, very important that you get to know that. So if there's a family history of kidney stone, you have to address it.
Let's just quickly take on the family history case. If
Yes.
there is a family history, what do you do?
What you're going to do is simple. Some of those things we mentioned earlier: increase water intake, go for a routine checkup. If you're obese, lose weight, balanced diet, increase fruits and vegetables, and then as much as possible treat any underlying kidney abnormalities, especially urinary tract infection, or include some, because some say, oh, the doctor said I had pyelonephritis, but then any underlying abnormality tied to the kidney, get it treated.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay. You mentioned painkillers.
Yes.
And I think we should also say that self-medication. You know, a lot of us will walk into the chemist and just pick anything once they have any pain, any part of their body. Okay, let's talk more on that.
For the painkillers, we are referring to the non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs, in quotes, NSAIDs. And also, as part of drugs putting one at risk of coming down with kidney disease, we also refer to certain antibiotics, because we don't go for routine checkup. The kidney might be diseased and might just be at an early stage. But then, once you get this medication that is not prescribed, OTC, over-the-counter medication, you just walk in, they give you, and then you ingest it, that will now affect the kidney the more and bring down the functions of the kidney. But for NSAIDs, what example of NSAID? Paracetamol, overdose of it. Example of NSAID, ibuprofen, diclofenac. You see some of these analgesic that is written for joints, bones, waist pain, and what have you. These are some of these NSAIDs that put one at risk of coming down with disease of the kidneys.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. When one is done with it, is it curable?
Well, it depends at what stage.
Okay.
At what stage? There's a stage that you get to, and all we would require is a transplant. And usually, transplant would also require continuous monitoring. So, kidney disease, yes, curable at an early stage.
Okay.
But then, if you come with an end-stage renal disease, a recurrent dialysis or a kidney transplant, and then the transplant plus or minus might fail. Yes, so for us to say curable, yes, we can say at an early stage, because at the early stage you find you have to address some of those things that put that patient at risk of that early stage of kidney disease. For instance, the blood pressure need to be controlled, diabetes need to be addressed, obesity, patient will be advised on losing weight, good water intake, and weight loss, and what have you. So curable, yes, at the early stage of the disease, but once it gets to like the end stage, dialysis, and we know how expensive it is in our environment, not to even talk of the dialysis, the renal transplant, you're talking about millions.
Doctor, the kidney disease thing or failure is a serious issue. I mean, it's all over, everywhere you hear about it, it's just in the air, all over the place. Do we actually do that? Do we treat it? I mean, okay, do this transplant. Do we do transplant in this country?
Yes, we have improved. We've been forced to improve.
Okay.
Okay, because Initially, getting a kidney transplant will require you have to travel to India and other countries. But now, kidney transplant, it's been done in Nigeria. At least I know one or about 2 to 3 facilities here in FCT where you can get a kidney transplant. But then our concern is just the cost. And we know with time, it's the cost would have to be reduced and then made affordable for everyone who requires. But then the other challenge is donor, availability of donors. So yeah, so that's the other challenge.
All right, doctor, donor. So you also donate?
Yes, we do.
Okay, please enlighten us.
Okay, so when we say a donor, a kidney donor, it means the person has functional kidneys. Okay, because every individual has a pair, right and the left. So both are functional. But then there are other things you need to do, ancillary investigation, in the sense that you need to confirm that this person, the person you are taking the kidney from and the person you are giving, both are compatible. So the ancillary investigation addresses all that. So all we are going to do is just to take out one of the kidneys that is functional and give to the other person who has a kidney failure, and we'll put there. So the donor will be left with just a kidney. And then the recipient has a functional kidney now doing the function of those diseased pair kidney. So that's the thing in quote, donor. Yes.
Okay, that is so enlightening. All right, you mean all of us have two?
Yes, a pair. Yes.
And then one can function.
Yes.
Without the other.
Yes.
Okay. All right, that's great. You have heard from the doctor talking about kidney prevention of kidney stones and failure. Are you done with it? What you can do, and then a transplant, which we're even surprised can be done here in Nigeria. It's a good one, and it's good having you on this program today.
Thank you,
doctor. All right, that's the much we can take on kidney and kidney failures, kidney transplant, kidney diseases, kidney stone, all about kidney. That's the much we can take about it for now. But stay tuned, the expert is still with us, and we will talk more on other health matters. Thank you.
Wow, that is so amazing. Now that we have educated and enlightened you, we believe that you will make this a daily part of your routine and your health will be better for it. Remember to stay safe. Keep your hands washed regularly and keep sanitizing your hands with alcohol-based hand sanitizer. Avoid crowded places. If you must go out to public places, please wear the mask. A lot of you do not like wearing the mask, but our appeal is that you wear it, if not for your sake, but the sake of your loved ones, to prevent them from contacting the disease and to prevent the disease from spreading. Keep maintaining social and physical distancing as directed by NCDC, WHO, and the federal government. Remember that you can change the narrative. So keep being positive despite negative narrative. You can watch this program on YouTube and also follow us on our social media platforms as displayed on the screen. For sponsorship and advert placement, for partnership, and to be a part of this program, please contact us via the number on your screen. I am Nelly Joseph, and I will see you soonest. Bye.